such proficiency has meant that Green Day have amassed a lot of music across their 30-year career, well over 150 songs in fact. And though many have gone on to reach millions of listeners and become world-conquering, record-breaking and Grammy-winning singles, there's a whole bunch of music from Billie Joe and co. that has understandably fallen by the wayside somewhat, swallowed by the shadow of Basket Case, Good Riddance and American Idiot. This is 10 lesser-known Green Day songs that everyone needs to hear. Cigarettes and Valentines. Why did we never get a full studio version of Cigarettes and Valentines? Because the album's master tapes were allegedly stolen in 2002 and we all know the story. Happily, Green Day did somehow manage to salvage the would-be title track to that planned record, and Cigarettes and Valentines songs finally saw the light of day as part of the band's great 2011 live album Awesome as Fuck. With the infectious pop-punk energy of the likes of Dookie's Burnout and Welcome to Paradise, but with a more mature edge, it's a song that hasn't had nearly enough attention across the years. Jar. While Billie Joe typically handles the majority of the songwriting for Green Day, here's a prime example of just how damn talented his bandmates are. Jar, which stands for Jason Andrew Relva, is a Mike special, written for his childhood friend who sadly passed away at the age of 19 following a car accident. Originally demoed during the Dookie sessions, Jar first saw the light of day for the Angus movie soundtrack in 1995, and later found a home on the band's 2001 International Superhits compilation. And though it's rare to hear Green Day tackle the topic of death in their music, What's Her Name? It might seem strange to include a song from an album that has sold around 16 million copies worldwide here, but on a record that has 5 genuinely colossal hit singles, it's always worth bringing What's Her Name, a song that could and should have been a single, back to people's attention. American Idiot's closing masterpiece is not only elegantly understated, Billie Joe's lyrics of Forgetting You but Not the Time wrap up the album's conceptual storyline in such a moving way that you'll be telling everyone you've got dust in your eyes once it's over. In fact, Green Day's 2015 Heart Like a Hand Grenade documentary, the frontman himself is seen quietly weeping in the studio as Mike finishes up his bass parts to the song, clearly completely and utterly overwhelmed with emotion.
I remember the face, but I can't recall the name.
Panic Song. At face value, a 2-minute intro for a 3.5-minute song might seem pretty daft, but Mike's frantic non-stop bassline provides the perfect soundtrack to the themes at the heart of Panic Song. And once the Insomniac track ascends from anxiety-inducing instrumentation into the more classic pop-punk Green Day sound, it's an absolute gem, with Billie Joe's lyrics perfectly capturing the mood of the band at the time. You probably shouldn't get too attached to Panic Song, though, as the Oakland Titans have only played it live once, partially when they headlined Paris's Rock and Seine back in 2012, it's probably best for Mike's wrists. Forever Now. Billie Joe may claim to have an aversion to long songs these days, but up until 2016 he was still knocking them out like nobody's business. Opening with the most honest line I've ever written. According to the frontman, my name is Billy and I'm freaking out. Revolution Radio's penultimate song not only deftly takes in a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions from its writer, it also cleverly nods to the music that is played out before it across a multi-part epic. From a reprise of Rev Rad opener Somewhere Now to a crossover in Outlaw's sentimental outro, it's a truly brilliant piece of music that unveils yet more layers with each listen. Going to Passalaqua. How is it even possible to write a song this impeccable at just 17 years old? The undeniable standout from Green Day's debut album, Going to Passalaqua, exhibits Billie Joe's knack for tackling issues of anxiety and insecurity with an incredibly mature level of clarity, even at such a young age. The frontman had also penned a number of songs about love and obsession up until this point, even beginning Passalaqua by singing Here We Go Again. Infatuation touches me just when I thought that it would end. Perhaps these themes would be properly fine-tuned and perfected on subsequent releases, but some 3 decades later it's a joy to revisit where it all began. Peacemaker. 21st Century Breakdown may often be unfairly overlooked following the unbelievable success of the album's predecessor American Idiot, that its Midway Point is just one song of many that perfectly showcases Green Day's versatility and perpetual ambition. As a standalone track it's a blast, with Mike describing it as having a kinda cool gypsy carnival feel, a style originally attempted on Warning's slower-paced Misery. Equally, it moves the narrative of the entire record along superbly, with Billie Joe's first-person narration of Christian looking for and probably finding vengeance keeping the heart rate up, and leaving the listener wondering what the hell is going to happen next. Church on Sunday. Rarely has coming to terms with problems in your love life sounded so uplifting. Written about dealing with the compromises he and his wife Adrienne were making in their relationship, Church on Sunday is both surprisingly personal and entirely relatable all in one. And that's before we come to that moment at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. No, it's not your CD skipping, it's a random triplet thrown in for good measure, distinguishing the final chorus of Warning's most underrated song in a brilliantly simple way. Dominated love slave. Why should only Billie Joe get to write about what he's feeling? Once Trey joined the band after the release of 39 Smooth, the drummer took over the job of lead vocals and guitar for one particularly memorable song on second album Kerplunk, detailing the many painful experiences he hoped to enjoy with a dominatrix. With Billie Joe behind the kit leaving Trey to sing about his naughtiest desires, it's the sound of the trio simply having a blast in the studio with no hidden meanings or deep metaphors to unpack. And it's not the band's only dabbling in BDSM, either having later hired 2 dominatrices to spank Green Day's sound engineer on Warning track Blood, Sex and Booze.
You can spank me when I do not behave. Smack me.
Dirty Rotten Bastards. To be fair, there are a number of songs from Green Day's Uno, Dos and Tres trilogy that have probably slipped into the category of lesser known, simply because at the time of the release, the band's ambitious 2012 collection was just too much for some to take in. And Dirty Rotten Bastards, the 10th track on the 3rd disc of this trilogy, could well have been missed, not only for its placing but also because of its 6.5-minute running time. It's a real riot, though following in the footsteps of epics like Jesus of Suburbia and Homecoming, but with a more mischievous tone. Dirty Rotten Bastards is a playful ride through the depths of their imagination, and proves that at a time when many had written them off, you can never count Green Day out.
On an adventure.